Okay, Greeks. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so Maui, um, Web of Flames is a town in Maui. Not really, I haven't really looked that deep into it. But when I saw the whole thing about direct energy weapons, you never know. I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, it's like another episode of GI Joe, and we'll just never be able to really prove it. But it is kind of strange. I didn't even know there was a hurricane coming until after it hit there. I had no idea there was a hurricane out there. Here, I'm in Hurricane Elaine here, but of course I was in the Pacific. But still, I think I'd hear about something. There was nothing. I mean, it was out there, but it just didn't hit the mainstream, at least where I was looking, apparently. Uh, so, uh, so this energy it is kind of strange. Usually, when hurricanes hit, they don't burn everything down. Usually, they flood everything, destroy everything. Fire is not one of their. I mean, unless a building catches on, yeah, which pretty much happened there. But it is kind of strange. I mean, we had was it Fort Myers that got hit? I think it was last year, or a couple years ago. I can't remember anymore. Uh, and I don't remember it going up in flames. I know it was flooding. So it's a little strange. So you know, direct energy weapon, probably. Well, you never know. Let's put it that way. It's it's like 50-50, but I don't know. It's we'll never know the story of it. But we are and China does come to mind. But then again, the U.S. is probably doing a lot of stuff with them too. So, oh well. And this whole thing with Taiwan, the U.S. pretty much created that problem back in the 80s. So it's been a problem since the 1980s. But then again, our modern government's been screwing around too, doing things that shouldn't be done. I mean, what's wrong with making some peace with these people? Yeah, can't we all just get along? I guess not. Yeah, the whole thing with Russia and Ukraine's a little bit different, but still, even there. But at least with China, I don't think you want to go to war with China, but yeah, because I think their military is almost larger than ours, or it is larger than ours. So, Fritz is here, biting my foot. We saw it tore down the background. I put it back up. We'll see how long it lasts. So, I rearranged the background a little bit, but she can still tear it down though. We can also go into Sirian worlds, the Sirian energies, and just like we did with the Palladians, connected to their reality to give you some kind of connection there with some kind of glimpse. Doesn't mean it has to be everything. You don't need to know everything about it. It's not that important. It's still here. That's what matters, really. And Trickster beings, because I went to the Demiurge yesterday, and obviously, I don't think I got a little bit of energy backlash from that, but whatever. But also the Trickster beings. Yeah, this will be the last time I bring it up. I brought it up in the past too, but I think it's good to bring up every once in a while. So just like the Demiurge is very arrogant, so are the Tricksters that are here. So we're dimensional energy beings or demonic beings, demons, shadow people. Now, not all demonic beings are arrogant. Some of them just have darkness and are just smoking cigarettes, doing drugs in the lower realms, or going through their suicide situation. Things with a suicide, you get other beings that are controlling you. But other beings a lot of beings just can't let go of their darkness. They're not out to hurt anybody. But then again, they do thrive on darkness. And like a reptilian being or any alien being can manipulate a trickster energy and put an attachment on you, an energy attachment. So like you feel like almost like there's another entity connected to you, which is messed up. It's almost like a possession. It's messed up. So I'm not gonna go too deep into this. A lot of people are not. They can't handle this stuff. They say you're being negative or talking about. It's like some just have a long ways to go. maybe a few thousand years, and maybe they'll figure this all out. But it's yeah, it's a dirty energy. But but trickster beings are known to be. What do you say? I'm doing something. Oh, you're busy. Look, it's Fritzy. She's going to kill me if I do anything. But the thing about trickster beings, yeah, they're very intelligent, but they're also very arrogant. Obviously, that's their downside. So, like, even in spiritual community or anywhere for that matter, not everybody that's arrogant has a demonic attachment, but many do. Well, it's like it's protecting their insecurities. So they want to feel like they have an advantage over you, like they're smarter than you. Someone similar to the demiurge worm being. Where else they learn from it? They want to feel like they're smarter than you, better than the light. In a lot of ways, they are correct because the light can be arrogant too. But I feel like everything has to be light, but they're so it's better. I don't know. It's different words. Some are arrogant. Some are just naive. And that's how the darkness. I think I talked about this yesterday. That's how the darkness manipulates the light, because the light feels like, oh, everything has to be our way, and then they have a weakness, and you see that here. I mean, even those that are in the spiritual community have a lot of darkness and might not show it. Some might be even abusive mentally to others, but then come off really friendly. So there's that. Of course, that's in everything, but yeah, it's a mess here. Yeah, I'm not sure how the world's going to go to 5D when you have all this going on. So it's not talked about a lot, probably. I don't think it is. Because it is, even those the New Agers that are out there, they're trying to figure out the astral and the spirit realms. They can't, these things, like, it's a whole other story. So maybe a couple thousand or million years, you might be able to go about this on a public level and heal it. Well, eventually, demonic beings will be seen here physically, walking around. People want their aliens, but you can't hide the devils forever. I've done devil being channelings in the past. And even double beings are not all bad. Yeah, there's worlds with double beings. There's a double being in Star Wars. So, so it's different ways of looking at it. So obviously some thrive off the demonic realms. It's just, it can become a pain in the ass to be around energy like that. But either way, so yeah, well, it's everybody has their vices, you can say. Anything else with the dark? Yeah, so demonic realms, one of the biggest things, yeah, like I said, they're trickster beings that they do mental tricks. They get you to get some whatever situation, relationship y'all need to be in, whatever it might be. This is that they thrive on chaos. That's their job. That's all they think about is chaos. And the other thing about trickster beings, some of them look human, but also some of them look like monsters, like you see in Greek mythology, things like that. So it's not just they look like parasite beings, basically. Yeah, that'd be one hell of a movie. You never know. Just can people handle it? And either way. All right. So it's just frustrating. Can't. This stuff has to be healed for the world to move to a higher dimension. Always some kind of awareness, but I think majority just don't want anything to do with it. So anyway, the world continues as the world turns. That's a really bad soap opera. But anyway. Zombies on Comedy Prem Sessions. You have scheduled shop here, the webinar, social network, behind the scenes, and archive. So, energy. Speaking of energy weapon, we'll go to Twitter, or they call X, wherever they call it. So you have this nice church, and half of Hawaii is, or Maui is burned down, right? At least that area is. And everything is like on fire, dead, but that church is just doing just fine. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's like, it's like, yeah, it's a symbol of God. You're right. So, right. So, there's that. All right, so Fritz is here helping us, not making any noise in the background. Watch it. Watch it. Yeah, she wants to play. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. She's bathing. All right, we're going to Maui's energy. And it is a reset also, but yeah, is that an attack? It feels like one. If it is done astrally, it's still some kind of attack. So you go to the Sirian worlds, and then we connect to the trickster beings. We connect more to the astral energies, give you kind of a broader. And I'm not going to channel a trickster being. We have enough of that here already. We have enough politicians here already. So, all right, blessings. Greece is energy from Maui. Of course, yes, it is a place of paradise. It's a place of rehabilitation. It does have Lemurian frequencies, but also like the Fountain of Youth energies. And yes, it's so hit for Maui to be attacked the way it is. You can call it through energy weapons, but I can go into. We'll let you decide on that. Mm-hmm. But it does lower the frequency. But there is a reset, though. It will rebuild, of course. But it is through a place like that goes this type of reset. Yeah, so it's an attack either way. But you can say the vibration. So for a place like Maui to go through this is basically there's definitely an energy shift. As it rebuilds itself, it's going into the new timeline, the new energy field. So it shows you that a new timeline has been created. Doesn't mean this has to happen, but Maui, you can say, is working on this new frequency that's coming in. So it's also a wake-up call for many that live there. It's like starting to question their own reality, going more into their spirituality, as many do when they go through situations like this. Question reality. So it's a wake-up call for many. And yes, you're going to have conspiracy theories that take this whole to no, well, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It's just hard to prove. Because when they do situations like this, obviously, just like any, like a thief or a criminal, though, doesn't want to leave a whole lot, the authorities keep it quiet, basically. So, but, go by your own senses of a situation like this. But to go into Maui's frequency, beyond this attack, is basically, like I say, a rehabilitation frequency. And you see that there are wealthy there, and they are trying to live forever. At least the super wealthy. They're trying to work on their immortality. They can live another day. So that's why they have ownership, like in their mansions there, just so they can, live, like I say, live as long as they can. And also to bring good luck there to themselves. Now, there's a lot of mermaid frequencies there also. So not everybody is here to live forever. But realize also these elites do create your timeline, their part. It doesn't mean they have the best energy, no. But they do have a job here. So it's like, why are they given this? Well, it's because they're testing society. But it doesn't mean they won't get karma for it. Now, if they give back to society and heal their karma during their lives, which is, it's up to them. They're allowed to do that. But many would rather not to. Some become so arrogant, like they deserve everything, and they made their lives. It's like, the universe, they made agreements to get to the wealth that they were at. So, but obviously many people are not here to live forever. The energies of Maui eventually will go worldwide, at least, longevity when the time is right. At this point, the world is such a low frequency. How many really want to live forever at this point? There's just too much of a war frequency. Of course, you can choose whatever you wish, how long you want to be there, but many just, yes, they live their timeline, their mission, as long as it, fulfill it as much as possible and then find some kind of reasonable exit. But the idea is to exit here, on good faith, on a good vibe, not to be hold on to this dimension. Because the less that you're holding on to it, the easier it is for you not to come back. Those that feel like, oh, I did this shit, did this, I should did that, and filled with regret, it's easier to come back because of that. Well, you're in spirit wandering around with all this regret, even if you're at a higher frequency, you still feel like, wow, I really could have did more in my life. So that's why money come back. Some feel like they're obligated to come back. So it's something to think about as you go through your journey. To just, yes, to check yourself and to feel like what you need to accomplish here. Some have difficulties accepting that. Some have difficulty in accepting death at all. They don't even want to talk about it. But they're not willing to look into their own cycle, their life cycle here, which many of you are doing. Well, a small percent is doing. So basically, like checking yourself, it's kind of like connecting, filling out your timeline, your roadway, that you're accomplishing what you need to. Whatever, it could be small, it doesn't have to be huge. It's just basically, am I getting through this life the best of my ability? Is there anything I need to do? I need to call somebody, I need to heal this connection, whatever it might be, so you can find more peace of mind. That's very important, as many of you know. So again, Maui's frequency is basically an energy of relief, is letting go. Realize you don't have to be there physically. You just connect to the Lemurian energies, Hawaiian energies. You also connect to the energies of India or even China. China has some issues of, well, only because of the political situation, but anywhere in the world, whatever you choose, you can make it your own. Just clear out all the agendas and connect to its source and find what works for you. So that's nice. Brings you, we are the Sirians. Well, first off, as a Sirian world, well, we're similar. We have this rehabilitation energies also. Now we connect to your world because we do have worlds similar to yours, not to this lower frequency, but basically we've been tested by other beings like reptilians and other source of self energies. But realize also when we went through that, we learned a lot about ourselves. It's like a lot of beings feel like they have it all figured out, and then they get attacked, and all of a sudden it's like, first of all, you feel how resourceful you are to survive, but also you just like it's like your energy field gets cracked, but you also learn more about yourself. So it's a wake up call, a soul wake up call, and that's what's happening here on this world. At least those that are like many of you live peaceful incarnations somewhere, but it can only last so long. It doesn't mean you have to come to a world like this. But after being tested through galactic wars, situations, you can say drama, come into a world is like, well, I survived all of that stress. Why not see what I can do on Earth and what can I learn about myself? What I can share with others? Because basically, it's not just you learning. This is also your collective, your as they call it, your soul family is going through this also, which is connected to your spirit guides. Now, that always going to reveal that. Because what for? They don't need to, but basically, you have soul family always around you. You don't have to know all the details. They might come to you if they need to, but many of you are focusing on the physical to accomplish what you need to accomplish. Do it. It's almost like it's kind of like knitting. It's kind of like you're creating a sweater. It's kind of like that, or growing a farm or growing vegetables. It's just like it's good to have these, to know what, to focus on what you're doing here. Yes, you add some spiritual energies to it. But also, yes, combining physical and non-physical to have work together. And basically, because many do become obsessed with the astral realms And it's almost, yes, an addiction. And they can't always accept the physical realm. That's always going to happen to some level. There's never going to be a complete balance there. But then again, you have physical beings that just want nothing to do with the spirit realms, as some of you dealt with. And that'll become more part of your future, of the Earth's culture eventually. Kind of like the Gnostic way of looking at things. Well, basically, the physical, you're already dealing with this already. I mean, some of you connect to others and they talk about spirituality. It's like they want nothing to do with it. Now, that can be as a galactic war situation, or they lost their faith in the spirit realms, which some of you have lost faith in the spirit realms too. But some of you's like, become lenient. Okay, let's heal that and make amends, which is good. Not everybody does that. But, between the physical and the non-physical, it's almost like racism to some level. It's at that level where it can have that type of hatred and manipulation. And eventually that'll be seen more physically. Eventually. That'd be more part. You're already kind of having that as conversations to a certain level. And it's going to be a strange world when that becomes known. So you can't believe you're having this conversation talking about your spiritual connections, aliens, angels, and then it's just more of something that you bring up more publicly. And yes, you might get ridiculed. And will that ever be healed on a world like this? It will take a long time. Of course, spiritual, religious spirituality, a lot of that has been hijacked. There is good there. It's not all bad, but there is obvious manipulation. But then again, with the alien energies, there's manipulation there to some level too, as some of you know. So it's a combination of everything. Yeah, so I mean, even the astral astrally you can see everything more clearly, but in the physical, it's like this is going to take a while to sort this out physically. So, and there's no rush. But it would be nice to have conversations more of the astral and the physical, and yes, you can say how you all can come together. But then again, that's going to be some time for that. But we can also go into the trickster beings that are here. Some of them, yes, go by a name, and they might tell you, it's like, my name is Reginald. I'm going to make your life a living hell. And that is like sometimes that is coming from a galactic family, whatever it might be. It's pretty bad when they introduce themselves before the energy attack you. But I guess you can say it's a gentleman way of doing it. But they take it that's their job. And you connected to this reality to, not fall for their tricks, basically. They're trickster beings, but obviously you're not seeing it like a Mad Hatter being, but they're kind of like that. Now, they do have some kind of form, but it's just this world is here to learn, society, this world's strong enough to handle it, basically to heal it I would say heal it, but also understand it. Like the times of Dante, Dante went into it back in the Renaissance and explained a great deal. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's close enough for now. It's just it's controversial, but it does help people here heal, find out their place in hell. Some do have homes there, but it doesn't mean they get attacked. Because this world is very connected to the lower dimensions, and some of you live here and you're not getting energy attacks, so you can't live in the lower dimensions and not be messed with. So that's a whole other society there. It's not all just brimstones and attacking. It's similar to this world. Like you have bad areas and then you have nice areas, but it's still at a lower frequency, but it's livable for those that want to be down there. So it's become a little bit more aware of it. So it's just that this is spiritual maturity to not judge and let the truth be known, because they won't attack you if you're willing to know them. Now, they might manipulate to a certain level because they want to show how strong they are, and sometimes they're just showing off. Of course, they're just showing. It's like any other friend that you might have in this reality that has some kind of loose screws that just feels like they just have to test everybody. And some of them are addicted to that. They're addicted to manipulation. But then again, you have those at a higher frequency that are addicted to bringing light to everybody. So you have the extremes of both. And yes, there are obviously the light angels and the fallen angels, and a lot of them are related. So some of them are lovers. So you have just to give you a different point of view of it. So you have this angel of light, and then you have an angel of dark, and then they marry, and where does that go? And same thing with brothers and sisters. You have a light being, a dark being. As some of you know, with siblings, like one's like really nice and together, and then you have a devil child. So it doesn't mean like they're too like evil, but some do kind of push that to a certain level. So it's for you to basically see all that and just not judge, heal, and move forward. But yeah, you can say expose it, you can say, or have a conversation about it, whatever it might be. This is